Right. Now, again, let's talk about what we can do with LDRs. There are various applications. So I want to explain this street lamp and how it functions, right, with the LDR. So as I told you, now you can see the EMF supplied is given as E. The voltage across the LDR, it is V1. Voltage across the resistor is V2. And you can see the resistance of the LDR is given as R1. And the resistance of the resistor is given as R2. And again, you must know the previous equation that I told you, V1 plus V2. And he's going to get, is constant is the EMF or the EMF of the battery, right? It is constant. So if V1, if V2 decreases, V1 increases, or if V1 increases, V2 decreases, right? Okay. Now, during daytime, right, you get enough light, right? You get enough light. So R1 is very small. As I told you, if I recall, the function of an LDR. So when the light intensity increases, the resistance decreases. When the light intensity increases, right, the resistance decreases, right? That is a function of an LDR, right? During the daytime, so you're already familiar with this equation. Here I'm going to write V1 over V2 is equal to R1 over R2, right? Okay. Then during daytime, R1 is very small. R1 is very small. So the V1, right? V1 also very small. Okay, right? I explained why it is small in the previous video, right? In the previous video, you can go and watch the function of a thermistor, right? So you don't get enough potential difference to turn on the lamp, right? During daytime, right? What? Light amount of light intensity is greater, so resistance is smaller. So we do not get enough potential difference to turn on the light. So I'm going to write, right? During daytime, light intensity is greater, so R1 is smaller, right? Then you can write, therefore V1 also smaller, therefore V1 also smaller. So the lamp will not turn on, right? But at night, right, we can write the equation V1 over V2, R1 over R2. What will happen at night? At night, the amount of light decreases, then R1 increases, right? So if the R1 increases, then what will happen? V1 also increases. Then you get enough voltage during the at night to turn on the lamp. So you can write, right, at night, light intensity is smaller. So the resistance R1 is greater, right? Then you get, therefore V1 also greater than, so the lamp will turn on. Okay, that's how we use thermistors, LDRs for street lamps, right, to design street lamp circuits.